When black students are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When black students are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When black students are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
I believe so. I have to check.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
As far as number one on the response to the SDS statement of concerns, you have diversity and culture, and a lot of it, it seems really nice, but if we have all of these things put into place and all these diversity requirements put into place, then how do kids like Zach Morris and the other two, kind of sneak their way in? And also, this isn't necessarily an isolated incident as well. I mean, we had the incident where the noose was found on the green. We've had incidents of students where they're being called niggers when they're going along the campus and people driving by. I mean, we've had incidents when we met with you last year where the students threatened to shoot us if we had more actions and more rallies. So the diversity and culture, it's just like, well, how do these people get in? If we're so committed to creating a culture of diversity and so committed to creating that.
Well, it's been a slow shift on race in this country, and of course we're not alone on that one. We don't have and can't legally have a political screening admission standard. That isn't that isn't the way you can evaluate this kind of thing. So the noose, as it turns out, as you may recall, was a prank by, I think, 5 of the 6 students involved, or the people involved, not all were students, were actually of color, and they just didn't see what kind of a symbol that could be. And several were not students, but yeah, it was some great police work on that.
You said several weren't students, or they were?
Several were, as I recall, I think 3. It was 5.
5, and there were 2 African American, 2
Hispanic,
and 1 white.
and 1 white. There were 6. 5 of the 6 were of color. Yeah.
Well,
I think
students. You said that they weren't students.
A couple were not students. They were friends and like roommates or
How
something.
many of them?
I don't remember. Don't remember the number. That was a while, of course, a year and a half or so back.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So what we've got to do is keep working on the efforts, and obviously we can't have a political litmus test in terms of admitting students to UNF or faculty. What we can do is teach, educate, explain what our values are and why they are, and hopefully change some hearts and minds.
Do you admit that there is a culture of racism in this campus?
There are certainly some people that are racist on this campus.
Just some people? Because you have people of color.
I don't know what your definition, what it takes to get to a culture.
Do you believe that the people of color who attend this campus feel unsafe due to the racism that exists, that they have to withstand, that they don't feel protected from?
Sheila? We'll talk about our surveys on that, and what we try to do to get input on.
A few years ago, there was a campus-wide survey that looked at issues of racism on campus. One for faculty and staff, then another that was conducted for students, and students completed that survey. When you look at overall our country and the culture of this country, that you definitely see a shift that has occurred in recent years. On campus, well, what the feedback that came from those surveys did not indicate overall that students felt unsafe on campus. And the only way we can know that students feel unsafe on campus is for students to provide us with information.
That's what
and
we're
even
here
if
to
it's
do.
anecdotal information, for students to come in, my office is open. I have an open door policy. And I'm in the Department of Diversity Initiatives. There are other departments and offices on campus that are here to address concerns and issues. And I can guarantee you, if someone comes in my office with any type of concern as it relates to racism or any form of discrimination or hate, that we definitely take it seriously. We are working to enhance not only diversity of the campus, but feelings of being included, so inclusivity on campus. But we need student input. So if you have information, you need to share it with us. And if it's not with me, with someone else.
We have a system. We have a culture of racism on this campus. We have a culture of white supremacy in this city. and we do need to combat it. And that's where our other demands really come in. We need to like be combating it on this campus. We need to be fighting it through education, through policy, and all the ways that we currently can, you know, under the neoliberal system.
Well, I agree. We agree. And well, I don't know if I can say I agree about the cultural aspect. We do our best to try to fight that. We do our best to try to explain why we think diversity is important. We have greatly diversified the student body. We know we need to do more. We have one of the few staffed and funded LGBT centers because of historic animus towards gays. That's a very important priority to us. Tom Serwatka is Vice President and Chief of Staff, and I'm not outing him by saying he's gay, and so we want these voices heard. We're not going to be able to always stop stupid acts. We're going to do our best to try to minimize them, and I hope people don't identify the university with the acts of three 18-year-old students. That is where they go. We'll get it wrapped up soon. Yeah.
I think, you know, to some degree, it kind of depends on, you know, what the investigation results are. You know, you said those could come out, you know, very soon, the next day even. And, you know, something that I was wondering, and I know a lot of students are wondering, is, you know, let's say, you know, the investigation concludes the same conclusion that we all have, that apparently, you know, you might even be inclined to think that the video is racist. You know, what kind of discipline is going to be taken upon the students? Because in my opinion, you know, the way that we handle the situation and the discipline is going to show, you know, that what our stance is on racist acts on this campus, be it, you know, a very lenient stance or a very, you know, concerned and, you know, proactive stance, you know?
Mm-hmm. The, on its face, that video is racist. There's just no question of that. The investigation is to make sure there's not some other context. You just got to go through that. Punishment then is what the law allows, and then we'll just have to see what the law permits.
You must be confused. I'm not here to hear about how supposedly high black people approved, how high your ratings were when you were mayor. I'm more worried about how now you're not there when their children need you. You call this transparency. Yo, this is a parody, and I'm not in a joking mood. I've seen way too many cops shooting and choking dudes. It shouldn't take this long to investigate. All the evidence is plain as day. It's on videotape recorded, but you acting like a tortoise. Or maybe you really did just ignore it. Then somehow you got the situation contorted, so we're the villains. Comparing our demands to justice to white terrorist killings, you have no clue what a lynching is. But seeing as this is a university, let me take you to school, Mr. President. Public lynchings are the legacy of white supremacy. Black bodies hung from trees for all the other black people to see, to intimidate those who dare to dream. Use fear to steer us back from the stars to the fields, and you wonder why the wounds have yet to heal.